quarter. Is there anything the way he plays that is a sign to you that, okay, he's about to go into his bag? He has a run coming.
I can't answer that one with, there's no marker for me. There's just, when it's going like that, you just want to space the floor well and let him orchestrate. I thought he was making the right plays. They were switching a ton. And, we have to offer that space and play faster if he gets off of the ball, but he was making shots. And when he's in that mode, we just feed off of that, but I don't have a marker or a segment in the game where I'm like, here he goes. It just happens. And our guys feed off of those moments in the game.
Right in front, Dwayne.
Yeah, Coach, you talked about getting easy ones, and obviously the Bucks play sound half-court D. You think you guys got 20 fast break points.
Yeah.
But what was the key to that tonight, you think?
Getting stops and DA rebounding the ball. I mean, he had 17 defensive boards, and that allows for us to get out and run. And I thought our guys were intentional about making plays for someone else, even if you didn't get the ball by running the floor. The floor was spaced, and so we were able to attack the paint or play hit ahead. They're a good defensive team, so anytime you can get easy buckets, it really helps you.
Ramona in the middle.
Hi, Monty. Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. You've had Chris early in his career, now towards the end of his career here. And then I remember the first round you kept saying he has a look, like you guys have looks and you read him. I'm just wondering, how he's changed and evolved? Like, if his looks now, have they changed from when he was back in New Orleans at the beginning of his career and just sort of his own career evolution?
I'm not. Back then, I was probably more forceful with calling plays. Now, he'll read the game. I'll watch him. He'll turn to me, and I'll be like, you call it. Or he'll be like, Coach, give me something. And then I'll be like, well, do this, that kind of thing, as opposed to me trying to run the whole deal. We always talk about the package of plays that we want to run in certain segments of the game. So we'll have 2 or 3 plays, and he'll stay in that environment for a bit. But ever so often, he'll look over to me and he'll squint, and I'll know he's wanting to play, and then I'll call it. Before, it was just me like, run this, run this, run this. Now, I try my best to stay out of his way because I know what he's seeing. And usually when he calls a play that I didn't give him, it's a play I wanted to run anyway. So I think that's the relationship that we've built over, being together twice and being in this situation with him. I think there's a trust there, and I think that helps.
So just to be clear, is he squint? The look is a squint?
It might be. They make fun of me because I squint with my glasses on. But he squints also. And so when he looks over and squints, I know he's wanting to play. And I try to give him something that takes advantage of the guys we have on the floor. Mm-hmm.
Back right.
Monty over here. You mentioned that the Bucks were switching a lot. They were switching a lot even in the first half with Brook Lopez on the floor. Were you expecting them to play that way defensively as much as they did? And did you have a specific plan to attack that? We
didn't know. I mean, they did a number of things versus Atlanta. But in their last game, they did switch a lot more. So they're the kind of team that you have to prepare for both. And so we didn't know. We just were waiting to see what it was. And we just tried to, space the floor as best we can off of the switches.
Palmer for a couple on Zoom.
First, we'll go to Cameron Cox with 12 News, followed by Mark Schwartz.
Hey, Coach, what did you make of Cam Johnson's performance tonight?
I thought he was great. His ability to space the floor and shoot the ball is what you tend to think about with Cam, but I thought his defense was really good tonight. He's a big, strong defender, and he has the ability to move his feet and keep guys in front. At 6'9", to move his feet like that, there's times when Giannis is coming at you full speed. There's really no answer for that except to, take the hit and and try to keep him from getting to the basket. I thought he had some really good possessions tonight on that side of the ball. And then his ability to score, space the floor, attack the basket. He's just a really good player.
Next is Mark Schwartz with ESPN.
Monty, Chris has not scored 73 points in a back-to-back game situation. Only one time he's done that in his career. What is it about the last two games, especially tonight's game, in which his offense was both needed and came about and evolved naturally?
I mean, he just understands how to score the ball, but he also understands where everybody else is on the floor. I thought the pass that he had to DA for a finish at the basket was signature Chris. I mean, he had been scoring and managing the game, and then as soon as they blitzed, he hit DA and we got a layup. But to answer that question properly, I mean, I'd be here all day. He's just a really good basketball player, and he's one of those rare guys that can see the floor. He knows where all five guys should be. He took advantage of his opportunities tonight versus, their switching defense, and gratefully or thankfully he made shots.
Go ahead, Chris.
Coach, you didn't know for sure if Giannis was going to be a goal tonight. Two questions. How did you prep for that, and how would you assess how you defended him?
We planned for him to play. We just felt like a guy like Giannis, who all the stories report about how hard he works on his body. We just figured a guy that works that hard is going to find a way to get back on the floor, especially in the finals. And this is the time of the year where you sacrifice everything. And, that's what we expected. And so we had planned for him to, be in the starting lineup. But if he didn't, you have to have another plan because they make rotation changes. So it wasn't like we were going to be caught off guard, but we were planning for their best. And Giannis, is their best.
Gina?
Hey, Monty. We've talked so much about Deandre's play throughout the playoffs, but his efficiency in particular, just what do you feel like have been the biggest keys for him to just maintain that from the beginning of the playoffs up until now?
I mean, he's just locked into the role. And sometimes when you tell a player he has a role, they tend to think that you're limiting their ability. I don't think DA thinks that. I think he understands his role and how it can affect winning on both sides of the ball. And, it certainly helps to have Chris and Book, creating opportunities for him. But he's done a really good job of understanding the angles and screens and where to be in the pocket to finish around the basket. And he's just a presence down there. Sometimes they have to run two guys at him to keep him off the glass, and that allows for our wings to pick up some offensive rebounds.
Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Monty. Mark Medina, USA Today. How have you seen the dynamic among Chris and Devin and Deandre evolve throughout the season? What do you think it's taken for them to be such a great trio?
I mean, earlier in the year, there was, some gray areas as to how to help those guys play together. I think those three deserve a lot of credit for the time that they spent after practice talking about certain environments. I'd love to tell you that I, orchestrated it all, but we've given them a system, and then those guys talk about the angles of the screens and different ways to run plays that we have so that they can be effective. I just think it's a lot of intentional conversations between those three and all of our guys. And so, we're just grateful that they, are playing well together, and we hope it continues.
Palmer, back to Zoom.
Next is going to be Kent Somers with the Arizona Republic.
Yeah, Monty, we've seen DA's improvement through the year, but what he's done in the playoffs, that taking it next level, has really been remarkable. Is it remarkable to you? Also, have you seen a young player make this jump, as big a jump as he has in such a short amount of time?
I don't know. I mean, I'm happy that he's playing well. And I'm happy that he has an effect on the game in different ways. You know, it's not just offense. There are games where defensively he impacts the game and covers up a lot of mistakes that we make. It usually takes younger bigs a lot longer. But I think playing with Chris, playing with Devin, and the work that DA puts in with Coach Mark Bryant has really helped him. You know, he is a talented player. His ability to rebound and finish around the basket, and then, you know, to have a big that can step up and make free throws is something that we don't take for granted. So he'd be the first one to tell you if he gets a chance to sit here. It's one game, and we have a lot more work to do, and that's where his focus is probably at right now, is just winning the next game.
Final question is going to be Greg Moore with the Arizona Republic.
Coach, thank you. What are your thoughts on starting strong, both in this game and in the series?
I mean, it's the formula for any team. You know, you want to win every game, but especially the first game, it gives you a level of confidence. But our starts over the course of the playoffs, when we start well, it tends to build confidence for our team. I think about Game 5 against the Clippers when we had that, you know, below average start. You know, we were digging ourselves out of a hole, and it wasn't just the offense. It was just having the energy and the juice that we typically play with. So I do think it's important. I think our guys understand that, and we need to do it every time we step on the floor.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.